we're now going live. We
You
should
guys
now be
read
live.
the-
We are
We're
now
live now?
Yes.
We are
I
now
feel
live.
alive.
Hello.
Fast food hijacking the stream.
Is that in real life or virtual?
Hello and
Hello.
welcome to this week's episode of Fast Food Tuesday.
I swear to God.
I thought it was Fast Food
Yeah,
Friday.
some-
I thought we had a vote on this.
I thought it was Out of Touch Thursday.
You know,
Out of time.
I really, the nice thing about this is that I don't have to do the show anymore. I can just eat my 2 burgers that I have sitting next to me now, which have been sitting
You
here
have
for
to
20
say something
minutes.
nice about the burgers.
Because I thought they would arrive when the stream starts, because I was really hungry. And then I bought them, and then I had more than enough time to eat them before the stream, but I thought, you know what? These $11 are tax deductible.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, now Sitor, about that meme about them looking like Persephone and Hades. You do know the story about Persephone and Hades, right?
Yes.
No.
No.
I mean, it's
Yay,
not
congrats,
a fun.
congrats,
It's not a fun happy-go-lucky couple, basically. It's just I don't understand why people think it's like a compliment to give. But
I mean,
Okay,
to be fair,
kids.
it's still one of the best relationships in
White
Greek
monster is
mythology.
Boomer. Regular monster is Boomer. White monster.
Greek.
I'm
yeah.
sorry, I have to do tax deduction here.
I mean,
so I'm
there's
gonna
one
interrupt your
lesbian
discussion for
relationship
a
that's very
second.
good.
Yeah,
in Greek
say
mythology.
a thing about the burgers so that you don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah,
Wait, lesbian? What?
Is that
Lesbian
we can
burgers.
talk about lesbians later. So this is this is a classic that I do whenever I go to this place. I get a crispy chicken burger, which is genuinely my favorite kind of burger patty, crispy chicken. I fucking love crispy chicken more than beef.
Oh yeah, that's very
Um,
tasty.
There's
Usually.
just a classic crispy chicken burger with a little bit of hot sauce, a bit of cocktail sauce. Let's just take a bite, then I can review it, and then you guys can talk about lesbian sex while I eat it.
Alright. Great review, Parker. Thanks. We'll come and arrest you for tax evasion tomorrow.
Did you guys see the pedo?
Yes, this one, as all the others, is also very fresh in terms of the lettuce and tomato. Of course,
nice
I've
and
not
crispy.
quite grown accustomed to having to eat German tomatoes yet, coming from Spain. Now, please continue.
Right. Where were we?
I do have somebody I want you to read, but you're eating right now, so I'll save it for later. Um,
Save it for dessert.
yeah, save this for dessert. I have
Will
2
find
sides.
More absolutely disgusting green text.
What?
Funny story. At work today. Because I've got hernia issues. Today I decided, I can't keep working with this hernia. I walked up to HR. Who the fuck's feedbacking?
Heinz.
I think it's Heinz. Yeah, it's Heinz.
Oh, shit, sorry. Yeah, I'll turn it down.
So
I'm
I
definitely
walked-
super excited not to be the one who's to blame for once.
I walked up to HR. I said I couldn't do it, so they told me to go home seek medical advice. Turns out the doctor is closed. So an hour in though, I get a phone call. They cancelled the appointment that I had for an operation. They had a gap because someone dropped out, and like, there's literally an hour in from me walking out of work because of the issue, the extended issue I've had. And then I just get an appointment. Literally, I've just had the pre-op today. And like
Nice.
on Monday, I'll be having the operation.
Oh, that's
like-
pretty nice.
I genuinely think my grandmother thinks I'm actually divine or ordained at this point.
I mean,
Nice.
you guys aren't doing that much against Corona, so I mean that's basically making sure there's enough room in the hospitals.
God damn! I hate that Twitter now starts saving some images as like this J5 bullshit.
What?
Because I have to go back and rename them.
If
J5.
What the fuck's a JFIF?
it's
I don't know,
pronounced if.
It's something that Twitter starts
It's like
saving
probably a
images
Twitter
as.
extension that they made up.
Yeah, it doesn't work in Discord, so
Yeah, that's probably they did probably did. Oh, it's a JPEG, file interchangeable format. So it's like a JPEG. It's like a JPEG. The fucking assholes.
Yeah,
They-
you have to rename the extension to JPEG, and then it'll work in Discord. The fucked up thing is that it works in Windows 10. That doesn't work in Discord.
They even made it the sub. Oh, not the superior. The inferior version of image formatting, which is JPEG.
But then, like, if you save the image on your phone, it saves it as a PNG.
That's interesting.
It's like, what? Why do we even have image formats? Just have images. If you're gonna play like that.
Yeah, everything should just be downloaded as raw.
Yeah, we have the storage.
Aim it onto a rock and throw through each other's windows.
Then we don't have to worry about like processing power for like compression and decompression.
Also, Burger,
More like
joined
depression.
Uniform again yet because technology keeps fucking you in the bum hole.
How spicy is the hot sauce on the burger?
Yeah, man, we need a review.
Yeah, you can't
well,
just sit there and eat.
Man.
Yeah, who do you think you are? A Twitch streamer? You could just sit there and eat and not say anything.
You can sit there and basically show your cleavage and just
show your tits.
He's even leaving. It's not even real.
While Burger's eating a burger, you've all missed the
This is the content we pay for, basically.
Yeah, man.
What are you talking about?
God, look at this Twitch thought.
I mean,
He's not even on camera.
How we could order
Yeah, it's just-
66 your channel.
My mouth is you know how you can eat so much sweet stuff that your mouth just goes stop?
Oh yeah.
Not in the because it's not not in the terms of calories, because I bought this a friend of mine recommended me this thing called Bolero, which is apparently it's like a company, they do like stevia based drink flavorings.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, they have like 80 different fucking flavors. And I bought the whole pack. I'm like, okay, give me a pack with one of each. And I am very well hydrated today. I just morbidly curious what all of them taste like. Currently, I'm drinking the papaya one. Well, I made a huge mistake. I took I bought like a 6-pack of carbonated water, and I opened one of the bottles, and I put in the contents of one of the bags, and now my kitchen smells like strawberries. So that's something that you shouldn't do. I did it again anyway with a different one, and it didn't taste very good.
Do you guys want to see a representation of Heinz from like a month ago?
Yes.
Here you go.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the World of Warcraft warlock.
I think Heinz is AFK. That's
Yeah, he just posted something. I mean, it's probably.
He's probably having his dick sucked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not eating right now.
I am actually gonna eat again in a second. I just opened my second burger. So this is a very this is a very special thing, because
How was the hot sauce?
no, this is one of the few burger places where I actually prefer the vegetarian option. So what I do is I buy both the meat option and the vegetarian option because I am a Western first world consumer. And this is a hamburger with arugula salad on it. But wait, that's not the best part. The best part is like a patty of slightly melted goat cheese with marmalade on it. With like jam. It's really fucking good.
Damn.
It looks like this. And I'm gonna eat it now, so you can continue doing. Wait, I actually have to review it also.
Yeah, don't forget you got a fucking job here.
I mean, yeah, we're here for you
It's weird.
reviewing burgers.
It's always weird that this, probably due to the bitterness of the arugula, always does carry some level of a chemical kind of taste. But it's not. Fuck.
Don't die, my guy.
It's the god of taxes cursing me.
Don't let it go down. Your lungs can't digest food, so don't send it
Oh,
down
mine
there.
can actually. Yeah, it's very tasty. I don't know. It tastes like goat cheese. And the goat cheese, the combination of goat cheese and like this sort of sour jam, it is one that's like very good anyway. So now, please continue.
No.
Oh, wait.
I will.
I'm actually hankering for a burger right now. It's so sad.
I could go for some fried chicken myself.
This is so sad. Alexa, play Welcome to the Cum Zone.
Why are you sad?
Flow from the
Come.
saying.
How many?
Oh.
I don't know the song.
Existential dread, you're very quiet.
Only
I think both-
inside anime girls.
Like you're very, very quiet.
Yeah, people tell me that about this.
Okay, I just turned you up to 200%. You're still fairly quiet, but at least
Yeah, you're
understandable.
so
I mean,
quiet.
I mean, to be fair, he's all the way over in Australia.
Yeah.
It's remarkable that we can hear him at all.
I might have to fuck around with some settings.
Probably damaged from
Yeah,
being
that's
upside
good.
down all the time.
I love how we've just gotten so accustomed to being able to talk to people halfway across the world that the moment we can't do it, we feel like we're living in the fucking Stone Age.
I was about to send that very same meme, Brady. It's good.
Understand this. It make me do small brain.
Oh my god.
Well, no, not that one.
I really don't like that stream.
Here's a
I-
meme that's more your speed, Heinz.
Heinz, you really need to crank up the gain on your mic because I can hear
yeah.
you. I can hear you, but
I'm down to stop myself from hot micing all the time because it's really, really sensitive.
Heinz, did you catch my jab at you earlier?
Yeah, I caught it. I'll admit, you got me. You got me.
Do so who's gonna read the meme?
Which meme?
which meme?
The Brady meme. It's just it feels like something.
What?
Okay.
I'm a German.
What does German mean?
He's playing SpongeBob.
I'll be SpongeBob. It means he's a Nazi.
No, it doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Britain, bow Stalingrad.
Stop it, Patrick! You're scaring him.
I love how Crit is the only one who's in character, and it's the completely wrong voice.
I feel like I played a convincing script.
I didn't have enough time to prepare. I was preparing for another role.
I didn't really care.
That's a perfect Squidward to not really caring.
I should have been
I would be
Squidward.
Squidward.
Yeah, that's
I should have been Squidward.
yeah.
I feel like I did a good job as Squidward.
Yeah, you did. You did
Hey,
pretty
hey, Brady, we got. You may mock that, but that's big dick energy.
good.
Besides, you were only around for what, like 400 years, 300 years?
What?
Yeah, your empire.
Nah,
I'm fine.
320, isn't it, Brady? Oh, fucking no. 1701, yeah, so 319. I don't fucking know the exact date, okay?
You can have empires and stuff, but have you ever built your own country from land that you just tossed into the sea until it came up as land?
Wait, are you talking about Dutchland? I mean, Netherlands?
Yes.
This next meme is for my boy Anfash.
Daddy!
You're being so
What the fuck?
why the fuck am I? Yeah. Generous. That's what I'm gonna say.
Did you not hear the Zelda treasure chest sound just there?
No,
No.
When?
that's probably for me.
Are you fucking with me?
Oh, I actually noticed that in the YouTube recordings burger that sometimes you get a sound from somewhere, like a little musical sound
Yeah,
that I didn't hear when I was in voice chat.
It's when,
Yeah.
when someone.
So that legit comes from somewhere on your end.
And this always happens while I'm streaming, though.
Yeah,
Burger has a burger.
but it always comes from your end, and I think I even paid attention and noticed that none of the circles in the profiles lit up.
Let's see. Okay.
This is scary.
way back when I used to use Skype a lot with my friends. What we figured out was Skype was picking up one of my friends. His neighbor, his like apartment neighbor, was listening to Spanish radio,
Hell yeah.
and we would always hear like very faint like Spanish radio in our voice chats, even though none of our like icons were popping off. It turns out that his Skype, through I guess like the power grid, that his computer was connected to, was picking up the Spanish radio station.
Damn.
That's funny.
So I'm wondering if there's like a radio station or something that's being picked up via like some fuckery on your end, some electrical fuckery or something.
But that was like a really clear and crisp Zelda fucking treasure chest get sound.
There is a radio station in here that exactly 2200 will play the Zelda sounds.
I kind of wonder if it's the modern version of like people with a metal plate in their head can pick up radio stations in their heads.
I mean, I did just install some new RAM in my machine. I'm just now the 32 gigabyte RAM club, and I immediately
welcome to the club.
I immediately used it to play City Skylines, and I immediately
that's the only reason.
Yeah, and I immediately downloaded so many assets that I had to delete a few.
That's the reason I got the RAM upgrade as well. Was to play City Skylines. That's awesome.
Damn. Yeah, that's the only reason to have that. I don't need it for anything else. I just needed to play City Skylines.
Unless you're like Marquez Brownie and need to do like 8K, 12K video.
I don't need to do that. And the nice thing is that because for some reason it's been bloating up my SSD infinitely, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, dude, go into Windows 10 and make sure it's not defragging your SSD. Apparently, that's turned on by default.
What do you mean defragging my SSD?
There was a thing posted that in a Windows update it accidentally turned on defragments or optimize all your drives, and that basically means it defragments your drives when you're not using it.
But I have that set up by default.
Well, you shouldn't be defragging your SSDs.
Well, no, not for my SSD. Yeah, that's true. Wait, why shouldn't I do it, though? Like, I know that I shouldn't do it, but why shouldn't I do it?
Well, because the way Windows handles, like, files and shit, it just sort of, like imagine you have a bookcase, and you start pulling books off of it.
Oh, yeah, that's because they're sorted randomly on the disk.
Yeah,
and then they're aligning them on the hard disk, and SSDs don't work like that. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And if you actually do that to SSDs, that's a quick way to reduce their lifespan.
That's not great. No, for me, it's weird because I have this. It's the SSD it's the one that my system's on, obviously. It's not very big. It's like 110 gigabytes. And it always, like, I don't know what it is, but some kinds of programs just put shit on there. Just gigabytes upon gigabytes of data where I'm not sure what it is. And then, like, it just fluctuates to such an insane extent that I think something fishy is going on.
Yeah. Oh, computers are too complicated these days. Or that, or I'm getting too old.
They're not.
Just wait until they introduce the 2.
Long ago, Bronze Age civilization lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the N peoples attacked. I mean, I'm sorry, what?
The N words attacked.
No, that's racist.
That's bad.
That is a
When the
racist
planet
thing to
flooded
say.
for the 3rd time. I mean, probably the area where we live.
Oh, damn, I want some nice French baguette. Holy shit. I feel like they made a good trade. Like, just being complete cowards, but at the same time also getting to eat chocolate cake every day. That's a trade that I would make. I think the French made the right decision there.
I mean, they drink a lot of coffee and they smoke a lot too. So,
They have it figured out, man.
They can't taste their stuff anymore with all the smoking they do.
That's why the flavors are so intense.
Okay, so I just found this image on my computer. I don't know why I saved it, but it's like a very American picture.
I'm sorry, what is that?
That's a can of Easy Cheese.
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not. Just to point this out, I am not in the slightest surprised by this. But what the fuck? I did not know this exists.
You didn't know about canned cheese?
Yes,
No.
we
See, when people said canned cheese, I assumed like a can where you'd have ravioli in it.
No,
Not
it's pressurized.
the kind of can that you get whipped cream out of.
That's how we have our canned cheese.
Isn't America freaking great?
Yes, that is the adjective that I would use to describe it. That is that exact one.
I took this picture today. Speaking of America, it's spooky season in America, and this is my grocery. This is the candy aisle. This is the seasonal aisle.
It's actually, this month, when I get out of quarantine, it's gonna be full of Christmas shit. Because Germany doesn't really do Halloween as much. Like we go out to get drunk on Halloween, but we don't like the whole trick or treating thing. There's kids who do it. I'll probably buy candies again, just so I can end up eating them alone at home because no one rings my doorbell. And and then I'm not sure. Can we do trick or treating this year because of social distancing?
No,
probably not.
Just give them hand sanitizer.
No, what you do, right?
Yeah, basically.
Right. You can ring the doorbell, but they have to hand it out with one of those like croc arms.
Yeah.
You just change it so it looks like a skeleton hand.
Or candy cannons.
It's like there's a bowl in front of the door and it's like pick one, but then there's one fat mom that picks everything, and then your house gets eggs for not having candy.
Yeah. One thing my city has started doing because they're worried about the safety of children, they don't want them to go missing or anything, by knocking on random houses, is that they started doing trick or treating at the mall parking lot, and basically everybody just parks their cars in like a massive circle, and then you just walk to the back of the car, do trick or treat, and they give you candy. You just do like a whole big circle. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, aren't you? It's like, okay, like all the kids are in one spot, and you can keep them chaperoned, but you're making them that they trust cars now.
Yeah, it's. But why would you? I mean, what is? Why can't they go to houses?
Because parents are scared. Even though I live in one of the safest.
I fucking hate this. In the fucking 70s, and this is a Louis C.K. joke, by the way, they just had a town pedophile, and the kids knew who it was, and they would hit free rides with him, and then run away before he could get them to suck his dick. Yeah. I mean, that's how they used to do it.
Natural order of things.
I mean, I'm not kidding. We did have, like, when I was in school, there was the guy in the house we weren't allowed to go near.
Yeah.
Because it's like
the one old dude who's like a PE teacher or or something that you got to be wary of.
Can you try to play it like this?
I'm always very sad when there's no one that comes and like picks up candy at my house, because I genuinely really like giving kids candy, especially when you live in like which I don't live in a middle class neighborhood, but I remember living in one for like one Halloween, and all of the fucking other families and adult people that they would trick or treat at would like have them sing carols or some shit, so they would earn their candy. And I had just bought massive amounts of candy and just opened the door. They don't even have to say anything. I just load the bags full of candy, send them on their way, because that's the only reason they're there. And that's how you make a child truly happy, is by giving them candy without any expectations.
Oh yeah, there's always like one house. When I was a kid, there was always like one house where it's an old lady, and instead of like getting like the fun size Snickers, she gave out the full size Snickers bars, and
Respect.
she was the badass of the neighborhood.
That's the one where have you been to Mrs. Anderson's house? She's got like Reese's Pieces in the big bags. That's how that was always dope. I remember I grew up in Spain. When I was trick-or-treating, I did it in Spain. I love trick-or-treating for Halloween. Problem is, nobody there knew what it was. Like, they had no idea. There's like, suddenly there's a group. We were the only group of children. I was the first kid, because I remembered Halloween from Germany. And then I told my friends in Spain about it, and we were the only group of kids in town that would go from door to door to trick or treat on Halloween, and none of the people knew what was going on. So we would get the wildest shit. We had to explain trick-or-treating to them, and then they would go into their fucking storage chamber and give us a can of beans because they didn't have any candy in the house. It's like, I guess this is what... One guy just straight up gave us a pack of sugar. Just... I don't have anything else. I'm sorry.
He was the most based, for that is the purest essence.
Yeah.
And then your parents are like, hey, we could save on a grocery store trip once a year. just send the kid out to go trick-or-treating.
They did catch on very quickly, though. Like,
or it's straight, you'll go and get diabetes.
You're still very quiet, Heinz.
Very quiet.
Diabetes. In the Netherlands, we used to have. There used to be like a special type of Halloween-ish. No, it wasn't on Halloween, but the trick or treating, and it was only
St. Martin
province. Yeah, Saint Martin.
Yeah.
And it's only for specific provinces, or at least for the north of the Netherlands. And I'm in the south, so I always heard about it, but I never did participated.
Oh, it's dope. I mean, I never went trick or treating for Saint Martin, which is the usual thing that German kids trick or treat for. Which is not. It's just right next to Halloween, which is it's like the thing in Spain. I'm getting ahead of myself. They would have these Weggebäck? No, okay.
No.
It's like a special kind of baked good, and this one was like in the shape of a guy. Usually had like a pipe and a little lollipop on it, and it was fucking delicious. Every year in Boys' Home, we would get each of us would get one, and they were fucking huge. And they got them from the best bakery in the whole town. They were so delicious. And we had this huge bond. I had to go to church before that and to hear about this fucking guy who cut his coat in half to give it to a homeless person. I just wanted my fucking baked goods. And I found out later that they don't have those. They don't have Ekman is a very local tradition in like the Rhineland. And they
Oh, I was about to say we do have a cookie company here called Weissman that makes cookies as well. So that was what I was kind of.
No, it's not like
confused.
I'm gonna have to. I'm literally on the internet. I can find pictures of this Vekman. Damn, these look fucking shit.
Also, I only recognize the authority of the official dungeon master and the dungeon master uniform.
That is, I wear it every time. Yeah, people can't see it because it's the online game, but.
Do you put the headpiece on as well? That makes you look old.
I have the headpiece on right now. I just have the deluxe version that's invisible.
Are those blunts?
What the hell? They look like.
Yeah.
Are those pipes edible though?
No, they're made of gypsum, I think. I mean, I guess some of them, like, it depends. I've seen some that were edible, but they're usually not.
This is like me. This is like me and my friend on payday.
No, but those are fucking delicious. I have to find a recipe for Vekgebek.
Yeah, this is totally not what I was thinking.
In my opinion, Halloween is used as an excuse by adults to dress up.
Yes. You know what? I hate the American Halloween where they just dress up as anything. It's like, no, dress up as something scary, or don't dress up at all. It's like, you have to dress up as something scary. It's a
police,
huge
for
costume.
example.
It's just you're the one white guy living in the black neighborhood. It's like, man,
he just
fucking Andy dressed up as a cop again. Motherfucker is insensitive as shit.
No, it's like, look, Andy's heart's in the right place, but he needs to learn how to make a proper ghost outfit. Because he's fucking that up.
See, just the next scene looks like the fucking KKK. Yeah. Man, Andy, did you not pay attention in history class, motherfucker? It's like, okay, I'll do a fire ghost next year. Next year is a red robe. It's like, oh, God damn, Andy.
Actually, now you made me think about it. Because we were a military family, and so I grew up on military bases and shit, and because my parents never wanted to spend a lot of money, especially on Halloween, I would make my own costume. And since my dad was in the military, the most easily accessible shit I had was his old, worn out military uniforms. So I would I would dress up as a zombie and wear those and carry around my toy M16. And I just kind of realized it's like, a lot of these guys like went to war in like Vietnam and shit. So I'm like, am I trigger? I'm thinking back and like, did I trigger them by walking around as like an undead soldier?
Bro, I probably trigger more if you went Vietnamese.
It's just wear a bush on your head. It's like
dress up as a Vietnamese tree.
You just ghost gibberish, and it just so happens to sound like Vietnamese. You don't even know that Vietnam is a place as a kid.
I just go like, yes, I am General Ho Chi Minh, inventor of ramen.
Oh fuck!
Inventor of the cup noodle.
Yeah, it used to be just a punishment for adultery. It's raw men.
In my opinion, this Halloween, the only official outfit that you should use, and would technically cover all the legal boundaries of social distancing, it is the plague doctor.
I kind of do want to go out as a plague doctor.
No, I'm gonna just go out without a mask. That's the Halloween costume.
I either want to go out as like because I either want to go out as a boomer or as like a obese plague doctor. I think a boomer would work better though. I'm talking about the boomer.
You wouldn't have to dress up.
I'm talking about the Left 4 Dead boomer, not the boomer.
Damn.
I was a little confused. I was a little confused there for a
What a
while.
fucked up thing to say.
Yeah.
You know, did you know that Spanish people didn't celebrate Christmas until like German people invaded? This is true. Spanish kids would get their presents in January on the festival of the three wise kings. You know, the three wise. I'm not the fucking Los Reyes Magos. The three wise kings. They wouldn't get any presents on Christmas, but the wise kings would show up. Let me just get this picture over here. These motherfuckers.
I mean, that is actually true, Brady.
They would show up and they would bring presents in like January. And
wait, is the guy on the right supposed to be like a Moor? Or like,
yeah, I think that's
okay.
Balthazar. Well, no, here's the problem with that. So in our town, they would load up all of the kids on a truck and then drive to the place where all the presents were, where the three wise men were also. And the thing is that we used to not have a lot of black people in town. And so to this day in Spain, once a year... someone will just dress up in blackface. I know that last year, or rather, I mean, it was this year, in the town where I grew up, they had a black guy playing Balthazar, but they also, for some reason, have, like, child assistants, which is, I don't know, I don't think that that's normal. So they put a kid in blackface. And it was just walking around with this guy. He's Spanish, so he probably doesn't even know about the American blackface connotation because he doesn't give a shit. Imagine they adopt this in like I don't know if they do this in Mexico, but you have like Mexican communities in the US where one of them just goes around in blackface. It's like,
yeah, or
I once did blackface, but it was accidental. It's a weird story. So, right, for most of my teenage years, I was in the CCF, the cadets. And the first time I had to do like those camo. The paste things that you put on your face to camouflage it, right? I took the brown one and I didn't really know how to put it on, so I sort of just smeared it all over my face, and it wasn't proper. I just rubbed it all over, and by after like 30 seconds, I just looked literally like I was blackface. Absolutely no distinction between me and somebody who is blackfacing.
Yeah, I also did accidental blackface once. It was hilarious, right? I went to this theater and I just sat down in the room where they do the makeup, and somebody came up with like shoe cream and just painted my face black, and then just did lips that extended all the way up to my nose, and then I went on stage and just accidentally did racist impressions for 2 hours. And that, I don't know how that happened, but it was completely by accident. I don't know.
Yeah, you just got me thinking. I'm surprised, like a lot of the like none of the oh god, Mr. Popo.
It's almost like people only do racist things when they're already in blackface.
So like you just had me thinking. I'm surprised. I just realized I don't think any of like the woke skulls on Twitter like have ever been into like a Mexican grocery store, because there's a lot of shit in the stores just with negro.
Yeah, I mean that's the word for the color black.
Yeah,
and also what they call black people.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. It's like have they canceled Mexican grocery stores yet, or
they only cancel things that's close enough to them.
That the Mexicans are
that they can really.
You know, the kind of woke people who post on Twitter don't go to Mexican grocery stores. That's the thing. They could never be confronted with this because they're not working class enough.
Oh yeah, speaking of woke skulls, there you go.
Nobody in the Latin world, like the only people who only Latin people who speak, let's say, like Latinx, are children of people from Latin America that grew up in America.
Yeah.
And like in the United States. That's the only people who will ever say it.
No,
And white
every time I hear somebody say Latinx like in like public, it's just like there's like a notable like cringe.
Because it's crazy that like these people with this oppressed minority as individuals, and we need to get like impression points from that. And like fair enough given the systemic disadvantages that they face, but then you go to actual South America and it's just the most racist, sexist bunch of people that you could possibly imagine. Just homophobic to a degree where it's like, oh yeah, no, the guy who went into the nightclub in Florida, that's normal here. It's like
Guys.
it's they have this
Well, it's like the Twitter. Like if you go on the Twitter and you look at like the way African Americans interact with Africans, they're practically at war with each other because like the Africans don't give a shit about anything the African Americans care about.
Yeah, it's almost like they're completely different subset of people.
There was some black comedian who at some point did this joke where he said he's like he was talking to an African guy, and the African guy basically went, "You are not African. You are the ones who got caught."
Oh my god, that is so.
Can we just
Holy shit!
all throughout Africa just to get autographs for actual African people to sign away that they want African Americans to remove African from their
just do not want to be associated with these people.
Yeah,
They
basically.
were weak. They could not run fast enough. That's exactly why they always win the 100-meter Olympics. It's because the weak, slow ones were the ones that got caught and sent to America.
They got weeded out of the gene.
Man, even I'm starting to feel uncomfortable.
There's an interesting
right now.
There is an interesting reason for this.
The chief of Lapland just inherited Barcelona.
What?
The chief of Lapland. You're talking about Lapland, like northern Scandinavia.
Okay. Yes.
So there's an interesting thing. It's not really a genetic; it's an adaptational thing. Why, like Ethiopians and so forth, are like fast runners, is because the country is like very high. So the air is quite thin at all times, and they train under those conditions. And so when they go to like a regular air density place,
they get like a supercharged with oxygen.
They're just supercharged with oxygen.
I mean, don't cyclists do that with high mountains and stuff?
Yeah, there's like a lot of athletes will actually do high altitude training in order to benefit from that, and it doesn't count as doping.
Okay, you think that's cool. What I think is cool are those guys who live in the Himalayas who climb like 2,000 to 3,000 feet in a day to harvest honey from honeybees that build their hives on the side of cliffs.
Fucking Tibetan people are wild, man. The Sherpas that I love that they didn't really climb all the super tall mountains up there until Europeans arrived, because they were like, why would we do that? There's nothing up there. There's nothing on Everest.
Okay, that is one white person trope. That is like
no, there's like a whole line of people waiting to be at the top of Mount Everest, basically.
Yeah. And now it's fucked up because like the Sherpas, you have like it's basically like a luxury resort trip for the white tourists.
I saw some images of the climb onto Mount Everest, and it's starting to turn into a trash heap because people just leave their plastic bottles laying around.
Yeah,
because once they're climbing down, they're so weak that they just shed any extra weight. That's why there's so many dead bodies up there. They can't carry them back.
A whole lot of them, yeah. Because it's very difficult to operate up there, and the Sherpas, they just fucking do it. They don't give a fuck. They're like,
they get paid like what, $100 to do it or something.
Yeah, the pay is so shit. And I love how the I don't remember the name of the guy who did the climb of Everest, but his Sherpa was I think Norgay was his surname. And the white guy gets the credit for going up Everest first, even though the Sherpa was the one who stepped onto the peak first. So he is actually the first
Edmund
person.
Hillary.
Yes,
Okay.
Edmund Hillary, and his mate was like something Norgay.
Let's see.
God, some that's so macabre about the climb up Mount Everest is that I think it was up until a couple years ago when it was buried in the snow, was that there a notable landmark that you were like almost to the top was a landmark called Little Boots, or no, not Little Boots, Green Boots, and it's a pair of green boots sticking out of the snow. And it's like a dead guy, and his green boots are sticking out of the snow. It's like that was a landmark for years on Mount Everest.
I genuinely don't see the appeal of climbing a mountain.
Yeah,
to
me
fly.
neither.
I mean, I've done it. I've like, I've like hiked Mount Hood with my dad, and it's a great.
But that's different, just hiking on a nice mountain
Hiking is
in a
one thing,
national
climbing
park.
to the peak of a mountain
Like
is-
I've gone hiking in the Alps. It's nice, but to
Yeah,
go
it's-
to these like inhumane fucking conditions, no.
Yeah.
There's only
I mean-
one reason I would climb a mountain peak, and that's if I'm using elephants to invade Rome.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah, that's valid. No, totally. I think doing anything to invade Rome is a valid reason.
But to get back to the South America thing, right? I read this thing about Brazil recently, where most of the football teams in Brazil don't have the number 24 on the jerseys. I think it's the number 24. Because that number is associated with being gay. Now, why is this number associated with being gay? Get ready for this. At one point, there was a zoo in Rio de Janeiro where you could buy like some kind of lottery ticket for it, and each animal would have like a corresponding number on the ticket. And the stag was the number 24. And the stag is associated with homosexuality in Brazil. Therefore, if you wear the number 24 on your football jersey, you become gay.
Wait, so a male deer is considered gay, and a male deer is pretty fucking manly. I mean,
It's
with
like
the antlers
stags
and
of the
everything.
fucking antlers. Yeah, that's a
pretty
badass
gay of
animal.
you, MDef, mate.
Well, I'm gay, so I
Okay.
guess I'm biased.
Boom. Boom.
There we go. So that's proven then.
But it's so wild that basically there was a Colombian football player who like played the number 24 back in Colombia. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, is the number 24 taken in your team? And the guy's like, what the fuck are you talking? You're not gonna play the number 24. What are you, fucking gay? And he's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like how. So like up here in the States, we have some called the Madden curse, and what that is because
It's like every football game gets worse every year.
well, it's that, but also it's called the Madden curse because whoever is on the cover for the next John Madden football game, usually they get like injured or they get outed in a scandal, or somehow their career ends up like collapsing,
Or they become gay.
after they are put on the.
But this is true about
cover for
all
Madden.
EA games, though, isn't it?
I mean, does that happen with FIFA when?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I read about this as just the
Madden curse.
the EA Sports curse.
Oh.
Where it doesn't really matter. The moment that your face is on one of those, you're done.
It's just EA is just sabotaging every professional athlete's career.
It's such a terrible company.
Unichronic Arts.
Okay, what can we do? We're already exploiting our customers. Oh, I know. Let's make our sportsmen cripple. Let's cripple our sports teams. that we put on the face.
employing dark magic to just absorb the fate of these high performers and inject it into the performance of the company.
Yeah,
that's why it's still around.
EA, I figured out why, because it did it to me as well. Is that now that the whole Origin Access or EA Plays on Steam now, if you've played any EA game ever, it just and you have an Origin account, it just front loads all.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It just it front loads all your achievements. So your heated gamer moment with Need for Speed Heat was because of that.
Now that I'm not actually being muted by my own mic, talking as
And now he's
sportsball
muted.
curses. I am.
I like how you literally said, "Now I'm not being muted by mic. You just get muted."
He's not muted.
What, is he muted now? Can you
No,
talk?
I can hear him perfectly fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
me too.
Wait, what?
Wait, you can hear me?
Yes,
Okay, now I can
yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Okay,
fuck?
Who's me? I don't
Anyway,
understand
now that
what's
I'm not
going on.
being muted, talking sportsball curses, has anyone here heard of the curse of Colonel Sanders?
No. What?
Okay, so there's this baseball team in Osaka, right? And apparently after they won a game, the fans basically just started going on almost a riot. And one of the things they did to celebrate was basically the baseball team would walk over this bridge on a river, and every time a member of the team went over, somebody who looked like a member of the team would jump into the river. Now, they couldn't. This one American player that they brought over from the States, they couldn't find anyone in the crowd who looked like him, so instead they just threw a statue of Colonel Sanders from a local KFC joint into the river.
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
And ever since that day, that baseball team never won another game. So people believed it was a curse, so they were trying to find the statue to put it back in place and appease the spirit of Colonel Sanders to win that baseball.
Oh god, no! I kind of understand it because Japan takes KFC, they really like KFC and they really like Colonel Sanders.
They like KFC in the way that racist people think black people like KFC. That's that is the Japanese, but unironically. They celebrate Christmas in KFC
for some reason.
That has to be the greatest win for fucking KFC ever.
Oh
Well,
yes.
I wonder if they also like watermelon and Kool-Aid.
Actually,
Japanese.
you are next to a big bridge.
I think that's phrased.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm
busy
flying my
rolling again.
F-16.
Yeah. actually, Freezy, you talk about sports and traditions they have whenever they win. I like how I forgot which college it is in Michigan, but there's a college in I think it is the University of Michigan, where whenever they win the NCAA championship, the whole city just starts rioting. They start flipping cars and burning cars and smashing out storefronts. And it's not because there's an uprising; it's just tradition. And it just feels like that's such a Michigan thing to do for a college game, not even a professional.
Just destroying your town.
It was down in Alabama when the University of Alabama plays against another team. The U.S. Air Force does flyovers of the game. Imagine a college having that much pull to get the military to do flyovers.
Yeah, that's only private colleges
in
can
America,
do that.
military is so fucking large that they're probably bored out of their fucking mind.
I mean, isn't the military also a lot of mercenary companies, basically?
100%, there's a whole base in the American military where people just go to work, sit around and do nothing, still get paid, and no one actually remembers it. It's that's literally that was 90% of my time in the Air Force. I managed to
100% GTA Vice City when I was in the Air Force, and I only played Vice City at work. I beat the remote control helicopter mission.
So you found all the packages as well.
Yes.
Damn.
I completed Vice City thanks to the Air Force.
That's the thing that like most military guys that I talk about. It's like it's not the PTSD that gets you, it's the boredom. It being with the military is so fucking boring.
And also, why didn't you play San Andreas? I mean, it's much more content. And
well, because I was out of the Air Force by the time San Andreas came out.
Ah, okay, never mind.
I was only in for 4 years.
Damn.
Also, Brady, why'd you post? Isn't that an SCP, like the chicken thing?
I don't know. I stole it off fucking shitposting, like I usually do.
You bastard!
I love that that's the patron privilege that you have here, is you can just steal memes from other channels and show them on stream, pretend like they're your own. Nobody will know.
I usually steal them from other servers just to be sure.
The aristocracy class, we just steal people.
No, I hate that. Like, I'll post something funny in shit posting. I'm like, oh yeah, this would be really fun to post, on Fast Food Thursdays. And I come in here and one of you fuckers reposts it. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, man. This is why I'm a white mage.
That's why you keep them to yourselves in a folder, and then you post them when the time is ready. Basically,
I did that, but I got sick of trunging through that fucking giant ass folder.
Then you delete the folder.
On your desktop, because I just can't be fucked to save memes.
I just use
it's a bit too much work to save memes. It's like it's the only reason for me to save memes is that I want to send them to someone.
Yeah, well,
and then I'll put them on my hard drive so I can send them to someone.
Oh yeah, well, I learned my lesson, so I hung on to this.
Homeowners associations are weird, man. I don't even why do they get to tell you what to do with your house? What is this fascism?
I don't understand.
I think I've already seen this one, Freeze. Or no?
Me,
oh
man.
my god! I found a really spicy meme. This is really.
Homeowners associations, because I think I don't know like where they started. I think it just. I mean, I'm pretty sure there might be a racial component to it. I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
but,
probably.
I guess it was just like an obsession with uniformity or something. I don't know how they started, but they exist.
Sounds like communism.
Yeah, but why? Because I heard people like, oh shit, the homeowners association wants me to paint my roof green. I'm like, just don't do it. And they're like, oh, that's a bad idea, though. Like, what power do these people have over? It's your property.
What are we gonna do?
I don't really understand. I imagine they got started probably in the 50s and 60s to say, we want to have like these picturesque suburbs, because that's when suburbs were starting to get really popular in the United States.
It's basically bored housewives.
I would not be surprised if it was just like if women were the reason for this again.
Goddamn women.
Yeah,
that's one of the great benefits of like putting women in the workplace is they stop just sitting around at home coming up with ways to like tyrannize their neighbors. They're just instead contributing to the economy.
I was about to say, so they just sit around at work and tyrannize their co-workers.
There was like a video about like about feminism, like how it turned out for women, basically like sexual freedom, and now you can no you basically can't get in a relationship almost.
That video is like a meme, and that's like a right wing meme. It's really.
Okay, you know what? The Amish supporting
Burger,
Trump. I'm okay with
some
that.
funny shit for you.
Go ahead, Freeze.
So a buddy of mine, like I was making some dumb shit the other day, and someone on the server gave me an idea. Now, I got this buddy of mine who makes synth music for fun, right? And we got an idea. Biden wave.
Oh no.
Like, he's
Yes,
still
that's
working
how
on the
we're-
first track.
That's
and
how
it's
we're gonna get him
basically just
elected.
using clips of Biden stuttering to make synth music.
Or like
part
he
is, right?
That is pretty good.
I'm actually making covers for the songs, like album cover art, basically, and it's all like memes, just like memified synthwave versions of political ads using Biden's face. Like,
Oh,
I got a really good one in here. Let me find it real quick. It's just taking me a sec because my phone is absolutely fucked right now.
So do you have like a track where it's like that time when Biden kept calling that dude fat, like as a noun insult?
No, but I do have this one. This is like one of the favorite ones I've created so far.
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
saw this one. I love that that's like the without the synthwave filter. That's actually a real thing that really comes from the Biden campaign. It's like
I did like kind of give it like a little bit of a filter though.
imagine if Trump had did this. Like say his name was like Trump and he had a black friend and like, you know, he was on the picture with the black friend. Fucking
Here's
that would just be, oh yeah, this is racist dog whistle confirmed. And now
here's
Joe
a
Biden,
different one,
who
though.
arguably Joe Biden,
Exactly.
politically speaking, has for a much longer time worked very, very hard to implement policies of systemic racism. Right, you can make even like a better case for him being seriously racist in a dangerous and, you know, actually
you gotta
hurtful
remember,
manner
Richard
over the many decades
Spencer
that he's
did
been in
endorse
politics.
Biden, so
Yeah. But for him, it's a mistake. Oh, it's just a mistake. Because it's all about appearances.
Oh Jesus. Okay, so my friend posted her lunch/dinner on Twitter, and I want to see if you guys can see what's wrong with her food. Really quick, if you could just take a peek. I'd say look at the food. Look at the like the egg and beef.
I couldn't identify a single thing in this picture,
Is
like in
that
terms of the food.
cockroach?
Okay, I will go
It's
ahead.
like potato partitions and
Okay, I will go ahead and zoom in
what the
And-
fuck is that?
and focus and enhance on what's wrong with what's wrong with the food.
There's a
There it is.
it looks like teeth.
She posted this with a sad face because she
Oh,
saw.
there's a wasp on it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just extra protein, man.
Yeah. Embrace the wasp.
It's that time of year again here in the States and here in Canada and the States. Yellow jackets are out. That's what these are. They're yellow jackets and they're fucking bastards. I fucking hate them.
Yeah, I prefer the blue jackets.
Wait, I thought you preferred the gray. Oh, never mind.
I prefer
purple's
the
a better
straight
color.
jacket.
Well, I prefer the gay jackets.
I'm still in quarantine, by the way.
Oh,
You have to wait like fucking a long time to get your second test in the state where I live, which they don't tell you about. And now I got my second test today, down at the Corona Mobile. So what happens is that what you have to do is when you arrive at the airport, you get to have a test at the airport, and then you have to go home. And then that's all it says on your travel documentation that tells you how to behave given the coronavirus. What it doesn't tell you, what you just have to intuit because it's obvious, is that you will have to go into Google and find a thing called the Cornoa Mobile.
Cornoa. Okay,
Cornoa,
all right, got it.
The Cornoa Mobile that's down by the port. And then you have to wait for 6 days, during which you have to stay in quarantine. And then you have to go down there to get another coronavirus test. And no one tells you
That
this.
sounds like a pain in the ass.
It's like the guy from the when the guy from the fucking health and safety, like the CDC, called me, the German CDC. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, yeah, nobody knows this. They did a very poor, and by they he means we, a very poor job of communicating that. Yeah, so that's something that I did, and I'm going to be in quarantine until.
That sounds really annoying.
Yeah, it's fucking messed up.
Yeah, I also found out that technically, under the rules of my state, every time I come back to my state and I go off duty from truck driving, I'm supposed to quarantine.
Yeah.
And it's like, how? How am I supposed to quarantine? I don't know. And nobody's enforcing it either. So it's like, okay, I guess I'll just wear my mask and cross my fingers.
I mean, at least there are rules. I mean, over here it's just a lot of fucking waffle. Nobody actually knows what's going on at any given time.
Oh, hey, I just
we get some kids riled up for pizza and then leave. That is the coolest thing.
That is the worst.
Holy
that is the worst.
shit, dude. What level of fucking sociopath do you have to be to come up with something like this? Holy fuck.
I just wanted to remind you guys Hard Boiled exists, and it's an amazing movie. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah, dude. Oh damn. That is my Street Samurai.
God, oh no, that Biden picture reminded me of that shit. I posted it in like current events. Here, I'll repost it here.
The Second Amendment protects our right to own guns, which we need to protect us from the tyrannical government. That's why the only time I ever use guns is to play pretend I'm a cop. Ignore tyrannical government and threaten and shoot American citizens for exercising their First Amendment right to walk around.
Apparently, you guys didn't realize that, like, the leftists in the United States are also getting really into guns in a very disturbing way. It's like, holy shit, these commies really like guns. And they like 3D printing guns as well. Because those, they can't be traced.
Well, this was gonna happen.
People who pay like fucking $2,000 for weird AR-15 shit and like HK-416s when you can buy a shit Chinese, well, not a Chinese AK, but a shit AK for $400 that'll outlast it.
Well, I mean, you could buy an AK parts kit and just 3D print the receiver, and it'll last longer than you last against the cops.
Bro. No, but seriously, if you guys remove the import restrictions on Chinese guns, Norinco AKs would absolutely change.
Absolutely. There's so many people over here who are just like, oh, I can get an assault rifle for $200. Yes, please.
Yeah, like before the semi-auto ban in the 80s in the UK, before 88, I think, the gun that was used in the shooting that caused the ban was a Norinco 58. I'm pretty sure. The vast majority of AKs that were owned in the UK were civilian Norincos.
You posting that Bernie picture reminded me of this.
It's so sad. We got so close, and
yeah.
The best thing is that now that we're seeing the way that things are developing, it used to be like, yeah, Biden's gonna absolutely win. Now it's Biden's gonna probably win. but it's not impossible that Trump will win.
Yeah.
I don't. Nobody fucking cares. They're the same candidate.
But yeah, the thing is, right, like, the Democrats would rather lose to Trump than have a Democratic Bernie Sanders presidency. That is just a fact.
That's because they're not a left-wing party. They're Republican. They're diet Republicans.
Yeah.
A bit like how Labour is.
Yeah, fucking Sir Keir Starmer. I will die before I vote for somebody with a title in front of their name as a Labour leader.
Yes, Sir in Labour.
Sir Keir Starmer.
You wouldn't vote for a doctor.
What? Yeah, well,
boom! Destroyed.
Destroyed with facts.
I mean, does a doctor really need a union in that sense? Though?
But not Labour vote a Green voter because Labour's fucking bad, and I think that you should vote your conscience.
I love how, like, I think the only place in the West where you can just unironically vote for a big party is Australia, where you can just vote for Labour, and they're actually left-wing, but the Liberals still always win because Australia itself is fucking Australia.
And fracking companies own their entire governmental apparatus.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad, really. They're one of the few people that actually got affected by climate change in a very bad way.
Oh, Australia is gonna get fucked, man. It's
only gonna get worse.
I reckon in less than 30 years, we're all gonna be feeling it on some level.
Oh, dude, like I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the century that massive inland sea starts forming again in Australia.
Lesson. Eco-terrorism is based.
I just want to say I got an air conditioning for all the Australian children. I got an air conditioning in my van, and it's nice and cool there.
Okay, I also want to say if you're the investing type, invest in oceanfront property in the Australian outback. for when that shit starts flooding again.
That would actually, I mean, that would be an interesting, because look,
it's kind of like when Ben Shapiro, when he was talking about climate change, said even if all of these neighborhoods flood, why don't people just sell their houses and leave?
Oh my god!
That one guy fucking axed his set and went sell their house.
Some things he doesn't understand about wetness. And just the concept itself eludes him. So the question is, say you did a mega engineering project in Australia and create a sort of inland sea in the outback, could you actually create arable land that way?
You know what I mean? Pretty sure we could.
Kind of. I mean, we kind of here in the States we did that by accident.
Yeah.
If you look at the Salton Sea out in California, that was made by accident when they were trying to irrigate that area.
Yeah, but that didn't really result in good arable farmland.
Can I just say that the Netherlands is the world's second in food production after the U.S.
Wait, I think China would have to tap you on the shoulder with that.
No, China is like, they keep trying to industrialize like all their fucking cities, and they become ghost cities, abandoned with materials that don't last very long. So
I do know they try to. Yeah, they just build massive cities and then nobody lives in them.
And then they collapse after like 1 year because the material is so.
You're gonna know like pretty fucking based ass ruins in China in a few years' time.
China's very concerned with like looking Western, right? To look like, oh, look at this, we have this infinite production and we do all the cool things that the West does. Which I think is also the reason why they are doing their own genocide now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Russia's like, yeah, fuck the gays because we like the church.
Yeah, the way that Russia did a 180 in that, I mean, the Soviets also didn't like the gays, but being gay in Russia, not a nice.
It's pretty
time
rough.
for that.
Wasn't it in like 2015 that they made wife beating a misdemeanor rather than a felony?
Yeah.
That was like 2016
That
or
is
so.
it's a wild place.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've known Russian people since I was a little child, and they have never been anything but kind and nice to me. But I am still terrified of Russian people. I just don't know that never changed.
I know exactly what you mean, dude. You get there's the image, isn't there?
Wait, did I ever tell you guys about because I used to have a coworker. He's in prison now. I used to have a coworker. I used to have a coworker. He was a Russian immigrant. He immigrated in 93, 94, and he became a truck driver. And I worked with him for a couple years, as a truck driver. And then he got thrown in prison because I didn't know, and apparently nobody at my company knew, he was a slumlord.
What is a slumlord?
He just owned a bunch of tenements and he never took care of them, and just was collecting rent on them. And he ended up. It was that along with some other laundering money and some other shits that he landed him. That just landed him in the state penitentiary for 20 years.
The most surprising bit about that story is that being a slumlord is actually illegal in the United States.
Well, I mean, it is now.
But I feel like that is just par for the course.
Yeah.
It's
part of the free market, right?
Yeah. No, you can be arrested for being a slumlord in the United States. I learned.
But will you be? Is the question.
But no, it's just he was from Russia, and he was a nice guy. It's he always every Christmas he'd give me a bottle of vodka, and he was super nice and everything. And then it's just one day he's just gone, and I asked, it's oh yeah, he got arrested for apparently he owned 3 tenements and he never took care of them, and he got caught on that, and also he was laundering money, and I was just oh fuck. Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah, that is fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the bit. That's why I'm always scared of Russians. It's always been the parents. A lot of my best friends during childhood were always Russians. When I was 3, I had I was friends with the 5-year-old girl. I think she was 5. That she lived upstairs, and the parents, they were very nice, but I was always scared of them. And then my middle school friend, he was Russian, and his parents used to give me gifts. They just gave me gifts, and I was terrified.
Oh yeah. I used to have friends whose parents were we had because we had our town has a lot of Sudanese, Ethiopian, and Vietnamese immigrants. And when I was growing up, their parents were just always, were just very, very strange. I guess I could say. And during the holidays, they would just go overboard with the gifts, because I don't think they realized oh no, you don't have to spend $100 on a video game for your kids' friends. You could just give them candy. It's no, you don't have to. And it was really nice, but it was just kind of creepy as well.
Yeah, I mean, I actually did the 5 love languages test today, and it turns out that I am not into gift giving, into receiving gifts. There's some I like surprises, and I like certain gifts from certain people, but gifts are not really my thing.
Yeah, I like to know what I'm getting.
But now you remind me, I had a friend in middle school who was Laotian, and his parents were first generation immigrants. They came over, because of the Vietnamese War and everything.
Is that he's from the French Sea, from Laotian?
No, like Laos. They were from Laos.
So actually, it's pronounced Lao.
Or Lao.
Be a dick about this.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you kind of are, but yeah, sure.
I'm a gaijin, whatever.
Nobody knows that though.
It's fine.
It's just I always every time somebody says it, I just use the opportunity to seem like a dick.
So, but anyway, that was like, because they were of the mindset like their kid needed to overperform in order to get ahead in the United States. So they were very, very strict parents with him. And it was always so weird when I go over to go play with him, because like they would treat him so, they would yell at him so much over like homework and like school performance and everything. Like him, like if he and it was so fucked up because they would bring me into it, because they would be like, oh, you know what, your friend, he can play the video games, but you're gonna study, and you're gonna watch him play video games while you study. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. Please don't drag me into this.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And they were always so nice to me. They were like super, super nice to me, and they just treated him like, I'm just like, I do not. I was like, can we just go hang over at my house? My parents don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're not gonna try and like murder us. I mean, there's like I mean, this is a phenomenon more in America, I think. But there's like all the Asian kids are like, oh, fucking white kids talking to their parents like they are actual human beings with rights. What a weird thing to do. And like, not to say anything about like cultural supremacy, but you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, but you are being mistreated. And
well, I mean, the Asians do have
Well, and it's like, yeah, he come over to my house and we play at my house, and I'd be like, oh, hey, you want to get something to drink? And I would just like go up to the refrigerator and grab like a Coke and a Coke for him, and he's just like, you can just do that? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, dear. I mean, I do remember not being able to do that, but I lived in a boys' home. There's like different rules there.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that was mostly an organizational thing.
Well, and I mean, to be fair, I was only allowed like 2 sodas a day, so.
Yeah, but your parents generally would trust you to self-regulate.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom didn't really give a shit, like, but it was weird.
Yeah, look where it got you.
I remember consistently.
To be fair, he was allowed to play, because again, this was the 90s, and he had a Super Nintendo, and he was allowed, like, one of the games he was permitted to play with unlimited time was SimCity, because they felt like that was a good game for him to play because he could learn from SimCity.
What is he gonna learn from SimCity?
How
to create natural catastrophes that will have the maximum impact on an urban population center.
It's just like every other game. Like, it was SimCity and Sim Earth he was allowed to play. Like, I guess he could learn more from Sim Earth, but he really liked playing SimCity.
Do you guys remember the YouTube videos from the SimCity mayor? No.
Wait, SimCity.
No, it's like basically like a skit. It's like the mayor of SimCity, and he's like, "Oh, if you don't re-elect me, I'll unleash natural disasters on the city, and I'll blow up all the hospitals." And it conveniently spells my name in the burning rubble. But it was a very funny video series.
Isn't that a Door Monster one?
Yeah, that sounds like a Door Monster.
Did it later as well, but
yeah, Door Monster is great.
I like Door Monster's video. SimCity versus City Skylines.
The original was college.
The new SimCity is so shit compared to City Skylines. It's so bad.
it's amazing that like SimCity 2013 was just so bad that this completely different company came in, and it's like, don't worry, we'll make SimCity.
No, but this is what happens though, right? There's a lot of these like classic games, and the like EA, the big companies that like the publishers that had them, instead of continuing down the same path and developing to their full potential with the new technology at hand, they just build them in the way that will be the cheapest for them and generate the most amount of money by like DLC shit and all that.
Yep.
Like they don't care about like actually making a good game. They're just coasting of the reputation. And that's this is why so many of these like clone games came out in the past few years, because there were people who loved the classics and they were like, well, I mean, I'm just gonna make the game that I dreamt of playing as a kid.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, the old developers grew up as well.
Flight games.
Well, that's what made me like so suspicious of EA when they announced the Command and Conquer Remastered Collection, because they were like, oh yeah, this classic game from the studio we destroyed, yeah, we're gonna bring it back out, and we're gonna have a studio do the remaster, and that studio is all the people we fired from the studio we destroyed.
Well, to be fair, that's why I bought it, because Petroglyph were making it. I was like, wait, EA aren't making it themselves, and Petroglyph are not bought out by them. It's like they must actually be trying to mend a schism because they know they fucked up.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I have it as well. I'm just like fingers crossed that they do Tiberium Dawn and Red Alert 2. Fingers crossed.
Like the first game a studio makes is like, oh, we're working together with EA, guys. Don't worry.
What I want them to do, like that, my ultimate hope in this is they give the rights to make a Star Wars strategy to Petroglyph, so we can see Empire at War 2.
I would love to see that. That would be awesome.
When do you guys think that DICE is going to get eaten up?
The one
DICE is doing very good for EA, so they're I think they're off the menu for right now.
DICE was Respawn. One thing I want from a remastered Empire at War is for it to run on more than one fucking core.
Isn't it? Aren't there mods? I know there's a mod for like SimCity 4 to get it to run on multiple cores. Isn't there one?
It's the hard code. It's it's like 2006, dude. Like the game only runs on one core. It's a massive problem for the Thrawn's Revenge. Like all these mods that are the Empire War that add all these graphical overhauls aren't that good because the one core limit. It will tank your system.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching this episode of Fast Food Thursday. I don't know if you've noticed, but I am actually depressed. But it's fine. I was feeling bad the whole day today, and now I'm kind of okay. And I'm blaming you guys.
Well, fuck you.
Thank you very much for watching this episode. There's gonna be a video tomorrow. I know there wasn't a video on Monday, and there's reasons for that. What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's Besieged. I used to play Besieged. I should play it again.
That's that's not Besieged. That's a fucking war crime, is what that is.
Oh my god, that's brilliant!
Actual literal war crime.
Oh god, no, like if I was still playing Besieged, I'd be like giving me ideas.
That's pretty good.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
the